Afternoon, race fans. We are back for race 2 of season 7 Green Hell Racing. And as you can see on your screen right there, we are this week at Paul Ricard, French countryside. Very long, a very elongated track, and what is basically a gigantic parking lot. You'll notice as we do as we typically do, when we spin up a track guide here in just a moment while the pro drivers get ready for qualification. And I apologize for starting a little late today. I had to run the drivers meeting for those guys. We'll talk about that here in just a minute. But as you can see, very elongated track. And again, as we watch that track guide, you're going to see that there's not a lot of walls, not a lot of things to run into. What there is a lot of place to run off if you need it during the course of your race. So hopefully, Paul Ricard is one of those where the drivers can do their best to look to try and avoid incidents as we get started here. And while we're waiting up here and getting ready, Huff Manic, he'll be streaming today. So go over and take a look there. Along with Electric ECC, he has posted that he will be streaming the race as well. So by all means, jump on multitwitch.tv, give these guys a look, and get as many perspectives on the race as you possibly can. And with that, let's jump into a little track guide here. While I work to continue to see if we can get the server up, and we will get this going for y'all.
Hi, it's Brandon and welcome to this lap guide of Paul Ricard and Assetto Corsa Competizione. Now this is the last lap guide I'm going to be doing until the next release. We've done them all so far, so I hope you've enjoyed them. And let's get into this one. So, first of all, give yourself a good line onto the main straight as usual.
I absolutely love.
Now coming into the first corner, keep to the right side of the track, and there's a bit of curbing up here just before the cones. Right before this curbing ends, you want to brake, and as you get close to the corner, let go of the brake early to get your car to rotate to the left. You can use a bit of that curb on the first corner. Now straighten up the car and get ready for the next one. Make sure the car is stable. Accelerate towards the second corner and coast a little bit just as you're going over the curb. Now once you're over the curb, you can start accelerating again. Just be careful that you don't kick the rear end out, and you don't want to run too wide or your lap will be invalidated and you'll probably lose some time anyway. Make sure you don't run into those yellow strips or hit those boards just on the outside. And now we move on to the next corner. Now coming to this corner, you want to brake alongside the 100-meter board, keep far to the left, and as you get closer to the corner, let go of the brake pedal, that'll help you rotate to the right here. Be careful not to over-rotate it, bring it down to second gear, and then back to this left curb. You can use this curbing here, just don't go too far over it, you might get a bit unstable. Just coast a little bit, and once you get off the curbing, briefly accelerate, bring it back to the left. Just tap the brake gear gently and turn right, keep it in second gear. Now use a lot of this curb on the right, and then try not run as wide as I do on the curb here, get a bit bouncy. Now back to the right again, you want to coast a little bit, try not to hit that inner curbing because that will unstabilize the car. And I also don't like to drift out too wide, I want to accelerate as early as I can and prepare myself for the following corner. So around about here where I do, start accelerating, get back to the right, and you should be foot flat through here, easy. You can go a little bit over that curbing on the right again. And now we've got a long straight for us to just relax a little bit and prepare for the next corner. Now the next corner is quite hard and you've got to be brave for it. Get a little bit on the curbing here. Now just before the rubber marks on the curb at the 50-meter board, just gently press on the brakes and then turn to the right hard. Now then try to keep your right wheels on this curbing and then gradually accelerate out of the corner. Make sure not to run too wide on exit, otherwise you'll get an invalid lap. And get back on the circuit before you hit these invalidation boards that will also invalidate your lap. And then head to the next long corner. Now here I don't really have a good braking point for, so you could probably use that light pole over there. You start braking around about here and you head straight to the apex, you drift out a little bit, you can use all the track, just make sure not to run off of it. Might need to tap the accelerator gently a couple times through the corner to keep yourself out wide, to give yourself a nice line coming out of it. Now once we're near the exit of the corner, we can start accelerating near this curb. Use all the track again out to the left, back to the right to prepare ourselves for the next corner again. Now keep an eye out for the third cone on the left, that's a roundabout where your braking point is, brake slightly before it. Now drift slightly wide out on this corner and you want to have a really late apex. You don't want to hit that curb on the inside, that'll slow you down. And same exiting the corner, that curb on the exit also slows you a little bit. Now coming to the final couple corners, just after the curbing on the right end, you want to start braking, bring it down to second gear. You can coast a lot through this corner, let it drift out a little bit, and then back into the apex again for you to make your way to the last corner. Now coming into the last corner, brake quite early. You don't want to hit that curb on the inside, it's a big bump. And keep it in second gear for better traction. Avoid running out wide on the curb like I do here. You seem to lose quite a bit of time doing it. If you can avoid these curbs, you should have a good exit, and that's a lap at Paul Ricard. Now I haven't driven this track in ages, so I was probably a little bit better before when I was more used to it. But I tried to learn it again today and I got a decent time, so hopefully this helps a little bit. The time I did in this video is a 1:53.5, so I thought that was alright. The best I've done is a high 1:52, I believe. Now the corners towards the end of the track are quite hard and they catch quite a few people out. So as long as you've got your line right and your braking point's okay, you should be alright. It just takes a lot of practice to get them perfect. And you can also push a lot through the first two corners. You just got to learn to trust the car and make sure you don't overdo it and kick the rear end out, because that'll spoil your lap time. Now I chose the BMW for this combination because I felt it was the most comfortable and I could get the most speed out of it with a little amount of time. The Lamborghini I had to go with first, and it was pretty quick, but it was really hard to drive. Coming into the fast right-hander at the end of the long straight, you got to be really careful with. If you brake a bit too hard or throw the car into the corner too hard, the rear just lets go and you'll be sent off into the runoff area. So be careful if you're driving a car like the Lamborghini. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this guide. I'll be doing more once the next release comes out with all the other tracks, and I'll be doing it with more cars as well. Leave some suggestions in the comments if you want to see other things on ACC. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
So there we go, folks. That's a lap at Paul Ricard, brought to you by Unleashed Drivers. Those guys I love their videos because they're concise and quick. So we will be joining in here in just a minute. The server is up. So let's get over there real fast.
Green light. Go, go, go.
As everyone starts coming in. So today's a little bit different, and this is part of what I wanted to talk about with you guys as we watch qualification get started here at Paul Ricard. And there's what you see what I'm talking about when I say it's a big, wide open parking lot. And first of all, before I go any further, to Raztasm, thank you so much for the follow, man. I appreciate you being here. Stick around for all the racing, because there's going to be plenty of it today, because this week's races are just a little bit different than what we are used to. So normally, on any given Sunday, if you like movies, normally what we have happen is we do a 20-minute qual, and then we end up where 20 or 25, somewhere in there, 20-minute qualification, and then we do a 45-minute race, right? 45-minute mini endurance, let's call it. Really, it'd be a sprint race in the real world, but that's a longer race here, right? Normal race time. So today, for both our pro and our AM drivers, as we watch Bode Cardinal head out on his opening lap, what we're going to do is we've got our 25-minute qualification.
I absolutely
McAlpin,
love.
thanks for being here, man. Appreciate you coming in. But today what's going to happen, folks, is we're doing a 25-minute qual, a 20-minute sprint race, followed by a second 25-minute sprint race for each class, right? So pro drivers right now, pro class drivers, they're out doing their qualifications. The first race, whatever they qual, that's where they start. The second race will be in reverse order. So what's going to happen is the guy that finished last in the first race is going to start at the pole or on the pole for the second race. Okay, so things are going to get really interesting when we talk about that, because the guys that run at the back, even in the pro class, we've got our resident aliens, our Nat JBs, our B-Fifes that run up front typically, right? So those guys might qual really well, do a really great job, and end up taking first row, first and number 1 and 2 for the first race. Come the second race, they've got to start at the back. Now you're talking about guys who are race pace, 2, maybe even 3 or 4 seconds faster on a lap than the people starting at the front. Things could get real interesting real fast. And that second sprint race is where the action's going to be. 100%. So again, McAlpin, thanks for coming to the stream, man, and thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. We're here every week. There's a race. We are on it. And as we watch these guys, we'll watch Bode Cardinal a little bit. I'm going to run over here real fast just to review last week's stuff. I got to go find it all because it was sent to me. I want to go take a... Or, I'm sorry, it was posted to the server, actually. So if y'all give me 1 minute. So looking at the Pro Class for last week after our race to get through the Pro Class, and again, that was our standard race, right? 20-minute qual, 45-minute race. Again, something I should mention is that for the races today, there is no pit stop required. That's what I've been told. There's no pit required, so the guys are going to be able to go out and just drive for 20 minutes. I think that, again, gets particularly interesting in that second sprint race that the guys will be driving. But real quick, just to give you the rundown, after last week's race, we got the points results. So to run down your top 10 here up front, Nat JB at number 1, 48 points. B Fife, number 2. Slobbery Spy, number 3. Yash Joshi, number 4. And Bode Cardinal, who we're seeing right now, who has set a... I'm sorry, he did not set a time. Slobbery Spy set the first time at 1:58.7. B Fife clocking him out with a 1:57, almost flat, just a hair over 1:57. And knowing how B Fife drives, more than likely he's going to be able to go ahead and bring that down to a 1:56 at some point as we start seeing more and more times come in. Bode Cardinal sitting at number 5, the gentleman you're watching right now. Pizza Man Pete, number 6 with 35 points. Steadfast in number 7. Rob H with 29 points. Muxkuth at number 9. And Huff Manic, number 10 with 24 points. And to round out the folks that finished last week's race, Electric ECC, Q-Bar, A2 Flying Jim, and TG0198 round out the 14 drivers who finished last week's race and earned themselves some points towards this season. So we're going to take a look at B Fife in his Lexus. Again, a 157. Now, we've got no times yet from Nat JB and Slobber. We do have a time from Slobbery Spy, but that's an early one. He's in his Bentley. More than likely, going to post something a little bit quicker than that. Muxkuth up there now. Donkey Pete setting a time. Little less than a second off the pace with Q-Bar and Steadfast right behind him. And there is Nat's first lap, almost a full second ahead of B Fife in that Bentley. So, again, a 25-minute qual is a long one, right? I feel like a long qualification, at least for me, as we talked about last week. Whoops. Stand by, Chief. I will get over there for you, but I did not know you were looking to join. If I can figure out what I'm doing. There we go. Y'all folks, give me 1 second here. I want to make sure. There we go. I'll get that set right for... Looks like Chief Blaze may be joining us for commentary today, which is always a good thing. And I apologize, the screen keeps going away. That happens. That happens from time to time for some reason when I have this full screen. But again, going back to it, Nat JB with a 156.199. B Fife has brought that down a little bit now and completed another lap, only just under half a second off that pace. So he will be running right up there up front with him. Slobbery Spy, Steadfast, and R. Hanley all setting laps. With Bo Cardinal, Electric, TG0, and Pierre yet to give us any times. So, I mean, qualification to this point, right? Qualification looks like it does on a typical week. We've got Nat JB up front, B Fife up there. I'm sure Slobbery is still out running. We go take a quick look and see what kind of times he's looking at. I'm sure trying to run another flying lap. And he'll be coming across here soon. We can take a look and see if he's able to bump that down a little bit and pull himself a little closer to the top. But lining up the way we're used to, right? We see these guys are able to start setting the times that we're used to them seeing. The aliens up top, everything. With today's format, again, when you put someone like a Nat, when you put someone like Slobbery Spy, when you put someone like B Fife at the back of the pack now, and they have to fight traffic all the way up, there are no pit stops, so they get no help from that, right, in trying to time their pit stops. So in that being the case, how does that play out, right? How patient can people be? As Slobbery Spy comes in, does not look like he was able to improve on his time yet. And he will be heading back to the pits. Now, we also had a surprise last week when, during the pro race, qualification was nice and sunny, dry track, start the race, and we had rain. Electric ECC pulling himself up into number 3 right now. Oh, it's horrible today. Next week's races should look a lot better, folks. My Elgato will be here. If I can get that up and running in time, we will not be dealing with compression artifacts across the network. So that'll be a great thing. Chief, I am in the voice channel now. I don't know what you're doing. Hanging out waiting for you, I guess. As we watch Electric ECC see if he can cut his time down a little bit. R. Hanley bumping it right up there into number 4 now. A little less than a second off pace. And Pierre has been just hanging out in the pits. I don't know if he's going to get any qual in. He might be having to deal with setup issues today. But TG0 and Bode Cardinal, the only two now to not set laps. As we take a look from the helicopter view and pull this back. Again, Paul Ricard can be one of those tracks that, obviously it's marked up, right? We have curbs, we have painted lines, we have all those things. It's still a different course to drive when you have these huge runoff areas, and depending on the corner, you're gonna swing a little wide. You don't feel like you have to worry about it as much. So like right there with Bode Cardinal, seeing him double cross, he's all the way off track. All 4 tires are past the white line. Does that lap qualify? Well, we'll have to wait and see, right? But he has yet to set a time, and he killed it somewhere because he has not yet clocked a time, and back into the pits he goes. Nat JB having yet not improved upon his time as he comes across for one more clocking. And nothing better there yet. B5 still holding back at just under half a second off pace with Electric ECC back in the pits to make some adjustments. And Tigo tried to take a shortcut. Didn't work out. But he is off track to not interfere with anybody else, so that's a good thing. Bo Cardinal back out on the track. See if he can get one in the last 12 minutes. And folks, just like last week, once the pro race is over, we will stay on stream, and I'll take a little break between the 2 sprint races for each class. It allows me to step away for a moment and get some air, whatnot. So I'll leave the stream running though. There'll just be I'll throw up the start screen, and we'll just let it sit there for a few minutes if y'all would stick with us. However, again, like last week and going forward, I will stop the stream at the end of the pro race. I'll ask you to stay there, maybe refresh your screen, because within about 30 seconds, I start the stream back up. All that is it gives us 2 streams for the day. The guys, I'm able to provide separate races for the drivers so they can watch it afterwards should they so choose, and allows it to be split up for archiving that these guys can go back and watch anytime they want. Oh, I hit the wrong button. And I did want to go and look at something real fast, but I guess that's not going to happen. That's okay. Let's see. And Nat JB does up his time. Only took one more lap with a 1:55.8. B-Fife now 7/10 off pace. Electric still holding in third. And R. Hanley making up your row 1 and 2 so far. 1:55.8. Just phenomenal. Pierre is now out on track. Any issues he might have been having are hopefully solved. Sounds good, man. Just join when you get back there. What's for breakfast, Chief? Is it good? I hope it's good. Q-Bar, my friend Q-Bar, whom some of you saw featured in a highlight from the stream on Friday night, out in his Bentley. And I gotta say, looking at it again this week, I really feel like we're Bentley heavy in the pro class of Green Hell Racing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nothing else comes close. I mean, we got 2 Mercedes. We got 2 Lexuses, right? Get Pierre, I believe that's the Aston. Other than that, and Steadfast with the Audi, but other than that, just a field of Bentleys, and nobody quite knows why. But on a track like this, the Bentley could have that advantage, right? Higher straight line speed. A lot of long straight stretches on this track. A lot of curving around too, but a lot of long straight stretches where, you know, that back straight in particular, very long and very easy if you get a good exit on the previous corner to just rip through the whole thing and get to the other end of the track very, very quickly. So again, Bode Cardinal, TG0, and Pierre, the last to give us a clean and valid lap, and we'll see if that happens here. 9 minutes left. Also, I should mention, for everybody watching who's curious, we're having our first race, and I really wanted to cover that because I will be covering once they actually get going, and I'm hoping they're at different times than the Xbox races because I'll stick with those if I have to. But our first little casual fun race with the PC side of Green Hell Racing is running right now as well. No points, not a season. This is really just testing and getting the league spun up to have enough drivers, get people on the PC side and on the PC server that I believe it's Huff Manic runs for testing and, you know, to do a race together. So if you're interested in PC side of Assetto Corsa Competizione 1, come over and join the Discord. We got plenty of room for plenty of people. Number 1. And number 2, down it goes again. Number 2, you'll soon hopefully be able to watch them here, right? We'll see when they're scheduled. F1 races, F1 2021 releases here in just a few weeks this month, and I will start covering their races on Saturdays. So we'll have race coverage for F1 on Saturdays and GT3 ACC racing on Sundays. All the race content you could possibly want from Green Hell Racing League will all be right here for your viewing pleasure. Tigo now able to set a time, putting himself in 7th, bumping Q-Bar, Slobbery, and Steadfast down a notch. Seven minutes left. Muxkuth into the pits. Everybody making a lot of adjustments today. 25-minute qual is nice. Nice and long for these guys to be able to tweak these vehicles right into where they need them. And Bode Cardinal now, stunning upset. Bode Cardinal knocking Nat JB by 0.07 of a second. Now, Cardinal runs well, man. Do not get me wrong. But as anyone who watches here knows, Nat's going to sit the pole, right? Every race, Nat's up there. And that's not to say he's got enough time to go out there and get laps in and take that position back. But to see Bode Cardinal this late in qualifying knock Nat JB back a position, absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And with Nat back out on track, since we have time here towards the end, I gotta hit the right button here. There we go. Let's again go on board with Nat JB for a lap of qualifying at Paul Ricard. Yeah, that's right, Stan. There are no Porsches. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I have no opinion on the Porsche, but the field is definitely Bentley heavy. That is for sure. Payne TV, welcome to the show. You're here for Green Hell Racing, Season 7, Race 2. Paul Ricard, thanks for coming by, man. Appreciate it. Nat in his Bentley. I know you got to know that Nat is running hard to try and take back that pole position from Bode Cardinal. Bode Cardinal taking most of the 25 minutes of qualification to get that lap in, but once he did, locked it down and again is able to beat Nat by 0.07 of a second. And now we see all of our drivers have set times. Everybody's on the grid. Everybody's got a qualification lap in. Bode Cardinal sitting at pole position with just under 4 minutes left in qualification. Nat JB number 2, B Fife, Electric ECC, and R Handley rounding out your top 5. Mux Kuth Dunky Pete, who is Pizza Man Pete on Twitch. If you want to go watch, he is streaming. I got no doubt Pete is streaming this race. Multitwitch.tv. You can watch him. You can watch Electric ECC, both of whom I know are going to be streaming this race today if you want as many perspectives as possible. TG0 in 8th with Q-Bar 9 and Slobbery Spy rounding out the top 10. Steadfast and Pierre is your full grid for today. Dan, 000, 00 Alpha. Sorry. Thanks for being here, man. And just remember, guys, today's format is a little different. Just to review, 2 20-minute sprint races will come up after this qualifying. There'll be about a 3 or 4 minute break between as drivers come back into the server. First race will be qualification order, so that's putting Bode Cardinal right up there at front, right? However, the second race will be reverse of the finishing of race 1. So the guys will join the server in order. They will race basically back to front, and it's going to get real interesting real fast as we focus in on R Handley here to get ready to end out qualification. And again, like every race, due to the limitations on the Xbox, I will be keeping a helicopter view going for lap 1. Once lap 1 has completed, we can try and start focusing in on some of the action, get a little bit closer view of some of our drivers. But due to those limitations, we're going to keep it pulled back to try and catch any incidents that happen in the first lap. Hey, Payne TV, if you like racing, this is the place to be. Assetto Corsa Competizione. Great game. Great group of guys that race for Green Hell Racing. Certainly a lot of fun. Whether you're good or not, that's okay. I'm terrible at it. I race AM class when I do race. I'm not doing it this season. And I'm absolutely horrible. Any of the guys in the chat can tell you that. But I have an absolute blast doing it. And as long as you know how to race clean and keep from ruining other folks' fun time, it's always a good time. Down to 1 minute, Bode Cardinal still holding on to that pole position as of right now. B Fife into the pits. We won't see him move too much unless somebody can jump up there and knock him back a little bit. Nat JB still out on track, still more than likely trying to grab that pole position. Looks like he's going to be able to finish this lap. We'll see if this is the one that does it. You got to think he's frustrated. 0.07 of a second. You got to think Nat is just champing at the bit to try and take that pole position back from Bode Cardinal. As we watch, he comes across one last time before the qual's going to end. And that is not going to be the lap that does it, according to the timing board. As we go back to our Hanley, that'll be our focus as qualifying ends, putting us in the best position to see as much as we can of lap 1 of today's race. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate you throwing that out there. There's the link for the Green Hell Racing Discord. Come on over and get your race on. A lot of fun. So there it is with qualification done and most of our drivers in the pits. Let's take a look at our grid for today's first of 2 Pro Class Sprint races. Bode Cardinal, Nat JB taking up row 1. B Fife and Electric, row 2. R Hanley and TG0, row 3. Muxcooth, Donkey, Pete, row 4. And Q-Bar and Slobbery Spy finish out your top 10 in row 5. Steadfast and Pierre will be in row 6, bringing up the back of the pack. As again, we start this first of 2 20-minute sprint races. And again, for anyone using multitwitch.tv, you should be aware that it looks as though B Fife is also streaming the race today. So be sure and go ahead and give him a look. Get as many perspectives as you possibly can. And looking at the last of it, it looks like Bode Cardinal staying out on track actually opened the gap on Nat JB up to 0.2 and bringing his time down just a little bit. Still a 1:55, but down to that 6:86. Good for him. Wicked fast on this course. And we again will pull back to our helicopter view to give us the best view possible of the start of the race. So just take a minute to clock through it as we wait for the race start to begin. And we should be being joined by Chief Blaze here soon, who was finishing his breakfast. I don't understand. I thought this was more important, but that's fine. Again, B Fife, multitwitch.tv, B Fife. And let me get down here. Pizza Man Pete and Electric ECC they are all streaming their race today. Be sure and go give those guys some love. I'm not sure about Electric, and I think I've seen B Fife on outside of Green Hell races. But Pizza Man Pete I know for sure is, and he is Pizza Man Pete 11 on Twitch. Him I know for sure regularly streams other races besides just the Green Hell Racing League. So give those guys some love and a follow so you know when to catch them on track. As Pizza Man Pete joins the chat. This is one of the, listen, if you want to watch racing like crazy, so if you'd have watched last Friday, we do Friday night drinking and driving. We get on Assetto Corsa, we have some fun. This is a warm-up lap, so we don't have to worry about it. No battling yet, guys. So in doing so, Friday nights, I try to read the chat, and that went horribly wrong, and poor Q-Bar suffered the consequences. Pizza Man Pete, I don't understand, because not only can he drive. He's in the pro class, right? He's obviously knows what he's doing. Not only can he drive, he can also he can also read the chat and respond to people. And he comes into the chat here and types things. And I cannot figure out how he does it.
Here comes Speed Racer. He's a demon on wheels. He's a demon and he's gonna be chasing after someone.
That is Pizza Man Pete, Speed Racer right there. Thank you, Mr. Peanut Butter. Otherwise known as McDaddy when he's driving. And Chief Blaze just joins the server as a driver for some reason. Nobody knows why.
Put in the wrong password out of habit.
Oh, well, aren't you wonderful today? How are you, Chief?
Good.
Good to hear. How was breakfast? What did you have?
Just eggs.
Yeah, I had eggs and French toast this morning, and it didn't sit too well. I don't know what's going on. Lately, when I eat eggs, they don't sit well with me anymore.
Oh, that's not good.
Not sure why. A little strange because they were fine. I love eggs, so it kind of sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I made myself a little breakfast burrito.
Oh, look at you. One of those left coast people. Got to have something in burrito shape or you can't eat it. Is that how that works?
I just have to stop eating so much bread, and I really wanted like toast, so I just had like a little half of a tortilla and ate it.
Oh, there you go. I should stop eating bread too. It'd probably be a good idea.
Half of a tortilla.
Half of a tortilla.
Yeah, it was half a breakfast burrito, and then I ate the other half just, regular eggs and bacon style.
As we see here, someone has decided to take the red
tortilla.
But hold on, guys, just a second here. We're watching somebody in the Lexus, which I believe is Tigo, taking the Red Rider route for the formation lap and deciding to use both sides of the entire chicane. No one's sure why. Red Rider, thanks for joining, buddy.
Yep, glad I could finally make it.
You all sorted?
What's up with Q-Bar
Yeah.
stealing my livery? That's what I want to know.
Dang it, I can't even spell my own thing.
Mr. Peanut Butter's ready for racing today. Ready to watch. Only 12
Is the B
drivers.
capitalized?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, you're the one that did that, so.
That's a long time ago. I can't be expected to remember all the things I do.
I remember the first day you changed it, I couldn't get in, and I'm like, are you kidding me right now? That's alright. Chief just joined as a driver, so.
Yeah, he's special like that.
True. So again, a bit curious today with Bode Cardinal sitting on pole position over Nat JB.
Ooh, he got it?
He got it by a little over 0.2 of a second. It was fantastic. So actually, he had it by 0.07 of a second, and then he opened it up on his last qualification lap to 0.2. So
we were practicing last night, and he's like, "That's my goal, is to beat him." So, and I was like, "Well, you should have started practicing last week." So.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, as we go double file, coming around to the start finish, we got two Bentleys up front with a Lexus and the Ferrari behind them. And as much fun as this race is going to be, y'all need to stick around for race 2, because when you put the fast ones at the back, we'll see who gets impatient first. Green light, let's go racing.
Is this the whole pro class, or are we missing people?
It's the whole one for this week.
Coming into T1 again. Putting those Bentleys side by side. My goodness.
Nat just decided to wait. He's like, "I'll catch him later."
But looks like clean all the way through. I don't see any bumping going on yet. Maybe a couple little taps. Bode Cardinal still sitting out front, although the timing screen for the first lap is always hell on wheels in this game. As we watch, it goes crazy now. But Bode Cardinal still sitting out front. B-Fife in third. And Electric holding steady in fourth right now. I'm telling you, you guys should start assigning colors for liveries. Makes telling them
Yeah,
apart
let's just
easier.
take all the fun out of it. But
Yeah, but it's on Xbox. It's not like, you can go all crazy custom.
Strawberry Spy has her own. Maybe.
Looks like Slobbery making the pass on, is that Mux? Or is that Hanley?
Mux, it looks like.
Tighten it up now. Oh, we got a bump. Looks like from Tego. Donkey Pete waffled Tego.
oh boy.
Came
Replay
into him in the
save.
corner. Yeah, not me. I learned my lesson last week. Thank you very much. Donkey Pete bumping Tego. Those two have both been pushed
Oh,
back.
Mox and Slobbery.
Yep.
Yeah.
Losing in the back end. The last corner.
And now Mux took out Tego trying to get back on the track.
Oh, shit.
Boy, I don't want to be a fly on the wall of Tego's house right now.
No.
That would be
I
an
can't
education in how to
wait
cuss
for
and
the
drink.
after Discord. Yes.
Slobbery
Let the rage
Spy.
flow through you.
Slobbery Spy running up on the back of Steadfast right now
Q-Bar gets by him.
with Q-Bar getting around him in the process. He ran wide last corner. Bode Cardinal still holding on to first right now. With Nat making the move right as we shift over to him. Up the long straight out back. Bentley versus Bentley coming into the corner. The fast right-hander. Here we go.
Oh, he doesn't have it. He doesn't have it.
Bode holding on to the inside of that corner. Nat running a little wide. Folks, this is the battle to watch today. I didn't know you could fit two Bentleys side by side on this track. Or any track for
I
that
didn't know
matter.
you could fit him anywhere. I mean, yeah.
Nat is never going to leave the pressure up on Bode. I hope Cardinal practice this week in driving under pressure.
Well, he was in the room with me, so no. There was no pressure there.
We got Steadfast, Q-Bar, and Slobbery Spy running back in 7, 8, and 9 real tight right now. Steadfast still holding his own. Being chased down by, again, two Bentleys because apparently everybody has to drive a Bentley. But able to gap up on
It's
him over the
because of all
start
the
finish.
rain. I got to prepare.
Right.
Preparing for the flood.
Back up to watch him. Bode Cardinal still holding on to first over Nat. So, Red, I'm going to ask you because Dan 00 Alpha is asking in chat, are there points for the first sprint race? Or how do points work this week?
There'll be. I would assume there's going to be points awarded for both races. So,
Okay.
And then you add them together for your weekly total.
Gotcha. There you go. But full
That's
point
how
full
you do
point
it.
spread? Not
Yes.
not half and half since it's two races.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Steadfast still holding his own in that Audi against both Bentleys. Slobbery now having fallen back just a little bit. Muctigo back in 11th now after getting popped twice in lap 1. And Mux Kuth
Ooh.
down in number 2. Wow.
Q-Bar and Slobbery and Steadfast. Q-Bar and Slobbery are going side by side through the last sector.
Side by side. Q-Bar pulling it out. Slobbery not wanting to give it up, though. Do you want incidents? Because this is how you get incidents.
Always. We have all these new guys that just take care of them. All I have to do is spend an hour posting.
And then you make me a steward, and I don't even go in and vote half the time.
Right, well, you weren't the only one.
No, I did after you said, hey, go vote.
The second time. I
Yeah.
said that twice.
I know you did.
Hoffman was the only one that heard me the first time.
Well, I forget it. You say it when I'm not at the PC, and I actually want to sit down and watch them. You know, like kind of take it seriously and make sure I'm making the right call here. You know what I mean? And by the time I get back to the PC, I forget. So, because I'm old and stupid. Bode Cardinal has actually stretched out just a little bit ahead of Nat JB at this point. Nat holding 7/10 off pace down the back stretch. 5 seconds, or sorry, half a second.
Steadfast is watching that battle in his rearview mirror as he just drives
Yep.
bar and slobbery. He's like, go ahead, guys. Don't mind me. You guys fight. I'll just
Electric ECC coming up on the back of B-Fife right now.
Oh, Slobbery's got him.
Don't
Oh,
keep
no.
going for me.
Oh, no. Not anymore. Man, they like that last sector.
Side by side again. Q-Bar going to hold on to that position for now. Looks like Donkey Pete bringing it to R. Handley as well. Some good battles going on.
They'd completely swapped the middle of that turn.
Looks like in order to do it, he had to run wide, though.
Well, yeah, he had to slow down more. Q-Bar.
Yeah.
Or Q-Bar did, and yeah. It was crazy.
Donkey Pete on the back of R. Handley coming across the start-finish line. See if he can make a move here before T1. Electric ECC having dropped back just a tad off of B-Fife at this point. Donkey Pete making his move on the outside into T1. Not able to do it, though. And then cuts inside into T2. We got a bump. And there goes Handley. That'll definitely be a racing incident. Yeah, but that one, that's a hard call right off the bat. I think Pete turned into him, but it's a hard call right off the bat. That one needs reviewed. 100%.
Yeah, just Rob always getting the short end of the stick. He either does it to himself or somebody else does it. Oh, Q-Bar takes him in turn 4, headed into turn 5. Looks like he's got it this time.
I'm still seeing Slobbery up front.
It's not updated yet. I guess I got it the other way around. Slobbery takes him going.
Yeah, Slobbery. Okay. Get me all confused.
Yeah, other way around. Other way around.
But at this point, Steadfast has opened up. I mean, again, to your point earlier, Red, Steadfast just like looking in his rear view saying, yeah, go play with each other and leave me alone.
Go fight.
And has now stretched it out to a little over 1 second of the lead heading down the back stretch on those two. And we'll see if that Bentley straight line speed helps Slobbery here a little bit, but not too much. Nat JB still holding just half a second off the back of Bode Cardinal. Now, if I'm Nat, right, and I know what's going on today, and I'm usually at the front of the pack, right? And again, nothing against Cardinal. He's a fast racer. But if I'm Nat JB, how hard do I push in this first race knowing I got to put all my energy into race 2, fighting my way from the back all the way to the front? Right? Like, seriously, like I'm going to take the points for second here, and now I got to spend my energy doing that. So, I don't know. Maybe he just cruises behind Cardinal for this race.
We are halfway.
I mean,
keep pushing.
Yeah. If you're in front, it's worth fighting for to keep it there. But if you're not, I don't know that it's worth it.
Exactly.
Because that's
Tell
just
you
one more
who's
spot
not
you have to
thinking
fight your
that.
way through.
Electric Egg is not thinking that. He's like, give me spots. Give me more.
He's
Q-Bar.
always that way.
Q-Bar not happy to let Slobbery Spy hold on to that position. Keeping it tight. And again, Steadfast. Looks like they've caught up to him a little bit here now.
Ooh. Got a lot of that curb there.
The Audi can take it.
Think Slobbery's having some. He's got to be the one because he's the only car doing it. He's glitching around a little.
Is he?
Yeah.
I'm showing good pings for everybody, so I don't know.
Well, mid corner he was kind of all the other cars, there's 3 cars in the screen, and he was the only one that was kind of halfway sideways.
Tweaking a little, yeah. Electric ECC, again, keeping on the back of B-Fife. Real tight. Nat has now slipped to almost 1 second behind Bode Cardinal. Electric wants to make a move here.
He is showing amazing restraint.
He is. He's doing really well holding back.
I don't know. Maybe he thinks that Lexus is Tigo. Maybe that's why.
Doesn't want to get yelled at?
Exactly.
Down to 8 minutes left in this race. Bode
Slobbery
Cardinal.
Spy has made the move around Steadfast.
Really?
I don't know where, because I wasn't watching, but he's in front of him. And ducking into the pits.
And yep.
And took out the sign for the speed limit.
Perfect. So we'll have to see why Slobbery decided to hit pits. There is no pit stop required today.
Yeah, does he know that?
Giving Steadfast his position back.
It's his own fault if he doesn't.
I absolutely
He must have had a drive-through or something.
Foxmate, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you being here. If you like racing, this is the place to be. We've got myself, Red Rider, and Chief Blaze hosting you today. Q-Bar is looking to take it to Steadfast now, so now that he doesn't have Slobbery to play with. I wanted to take a look here. Looks like Slobbery did stop and is now clearing
weird.
pits, so I'll have to see if he thought he needed to, or
Maybe he didn't take enough fuel somehow. Maybe
Yeah.
he forgot to update qualifying fuel.
Possible. I hope he knew that it wasn't required. We did everything we could do to tell him.
And again, Bode Cardinal out front holding over a 1 second lead on Nat JB. That we are not used to seeing that. And Electric ECC back and forth, trying to keep it tight on B-Fife. Q-Bar not yet able to make the move on Steadfast, but keeping the pressure on.
Wonder, surely, I can't imagine he's doing this, but I wonder if Q-Bar is reading going, hey, if I finish 4th in both races, the points I'm going to get would be, I mean, I don't have to fight all the way from the very back.
Q-Bar making a move on the inside now.
Points.
And, there might have been a tap there, but Steadfast holds the position. And now R. Hanley is back up on the rear end of Q-Bar.
Got scores to settle, boys.
Yeah, there might have been a tap there, and I think Q-Bar might have given the position back to Steadfast because he bumped him. It wasn't horrible, but it did push him outside the line.
Yeah, but who hit Hanley earlier?
I don't know. Was it Q-Bar?
I don't know. I thought it was one of them, Q-Bar, or I could be wrong. I wasn't watching.
I can't remember. Oh, don't worry. It'll be in the incident channel.
Yeah.
So we now have all 3 of these guys running together. Steadfast again leading the pack with Q-Bar trying to make that move and keep it tight on the inside. And let's see if the straight line speed up the backstretch. Who gets the best launch out of the corner? That's what it all comes down to back here, right?
Yeah, but it all comes out of the 4th corner. I mean, or the 5th corner, rather. You get that last right-hander before the sweeping down, and you get way faster down that straightaway.
True.
Pinch the inside, Steadfast. Pull the Red Rider. Just move them all the way to the wall.
Oh no, killed 2 dudes now. Quiet. Yeah, Pete's not happy in the chat. Reticent Ruin, thank you for being here. I just see you now. Cooking. You're cooking, so you'll be quiet. That's all right. I appreciate being here anyway. Watch the racing. Cook your food. I hope it's something good you're making today. Steadfast still holding on and just keeping Q-Bar at bay. Not letting him have any room to move around him.
Oh, he blew the corner just enough. He's got him.
Side by side.
Oh.
Side by side with Steadfast on the inside. And able to hold it. Oh, wow.
Yeah, wow.
Nice
the only way he could
racing.
have pulled that off is if he'd have done the switchback. That might have got it to him, but
good racing right there. That's what we like to see, and that's what we're all here for. Nat JB closing the gap up with Bode Cardinal, and I don't want to flash away from these three, but close the gap to 0.7 seconds now.
Oh, Steadfast.
Steadfast out and gets waffled by R. Hanley. That's too bad. Q-Bar now coming up into 6th.
He spun around a good amount.
I think he went around about 3 times, so...
Yeah. He's not sure which direction he's facing.
No. It wouldn't surprise me. We got Mux Kuth coming up on the back of TG0.
Nat cut it down another 2/10.
Yes, he did. Just over 3 minutes of racing left in the first of 2 Pro Class sprint races today. And just the same to see the incidences. So, Mr. Peanut Butter finally asked, Pete, how do you type during a race? iPad, long straight. So that's what we're hearing from Pete.
Well,
so at least at least we know he's not typing while he's waffling people, right? From time to time. So, but Pete's one of those guys that I know, he's like myself, that after an incident he's gonna feel horrible about it. You know what I mean? Just one of those types of people.
Do you have remorse? Are you sure?
I do. I felt bad when Who'd I hit? Bigelow? I felt bad when I hit Bigelow. I didn't feel so bad when I hit Red. All I did was tap him. Been hearing about it ever since. I felt bad when I hit Bigelow because I blasted him off the track. It was horrible. Pierre coming up on the back of Slobbery Spy off the long straight.
Right on the back of him.
Jump up. Nat has come back up on Bode Cardinal.
Got about a lap and a half to get this done, and he knows it.
If I'm Nat JB, I want to put pressure, let him make his own mistake. I don't need to pass you.
Right.
I don't need. I'm still going to be in the last row, right, coming into the second race.
Right.
I don't need to pass you right now. But if I put pressure on you and you go flying off the track somewhere, so be it. I get the points for first, right?
Hold us Stolowski.
Yeah, that's what Stolowski does, right? He's not.
Yeah.
The guy drives wicked clean. He doesn't worry about passing you. He worries about putting the pressure on to get you to make a mistake.
He gets as close as physically possible without hitting you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's good at it.
He is. And then he spins around.
That's what some others try to do and fail. That's how you end up getting rear-ended in multiple races.
Yeah.
True.
Not quite their skill level yet.
Yeah.
Electric ECC off track now. Slid way wide. May lose a position to Donkey Pete.
Nat is getting close.
Yeah.
Getting closer.
Donkey Pete running up on the back of ECC hard now.
Last lap.
If he can hang on to it or not. I don't think Nat's just going to apply pressure.
No, cut it down another 10.
Yeah. He's not just going to play the medic here and apply pressure and try to stop the... He's going to be like, let's dig this bullet out.
Go ahead and back through Donkey Pete now on the back of Electric ECC after his spin. As we come back to the front and see Nat keeping right up with Cardinal.
Oof. I don't know. See, he got real close to him in the
better
last
through
two
the
corners.
sections with all the turns, it seems like. And then...
Well, at the end of the last lap, it was really close going into that last corner.
Yeah.
He tightened it up a lot.
That first set of turns, Bode Cardinal always gets a couple tenths, and then Nat closes it down in the back half of the course. But he just can't get close enough. Oh, he's cut it down 2 tenths there.
Ooh. I hope he had a track limit to give. He just used it.
Hey, Spoozle, you're right. In our pro class, the Bentleys are very popular for some reason. We got 5 of them on track today. Last lap of race 1, and don't think we're done, Sploozle, if you just joined
Not
us.
gonna get close enough.
We've got another race
Yeah.
coming up for the Pro Class after this, and the M Class runs directly after that. So, yeah, no, I don't think
saved
he's...
that track limit to
I
when
don't-
he needed it, because I guarantee one popped up at the end of that straightaway.
Unless he can make a quick whip here, that is going to be it.
All right, I'm going to jump out so that I'm in the driver's chat for everybody.
Roger that, man. So, Bode Cardinal's the winner. Took pole position from Nat
Close.
JB, and wicked close right behind him by just 0.2 of a second. Nat JB is your number 2. Now, again, stick around, folks. We are going to take a quick break. What's up, Wheezy? Yeehaw, man. We are going to take a quick break. Everybody's going to leave the server, myself included. I'm going to put you guys just on a fast screen there. And what's going to happen is all these drivers are coming back, but it's going to take a minute because they got to join in the right order.
Absolutely love.
Sploozle, thank you for the follow, man. So appreciative of you being here, and I much appreciate that. But again, we're coming right back. Nobody take off. I'm gonna mute myself, take a little break while we watch these guys do donuts to celebrate their wins. But there is your list of drivers, and if you reverse this order, that's who's going to start from first down here with Pierre. Once him and Slobbery Spy finish out. He's 5 back, so yeah, he needs to finish out. This won't change any, but Pierre will be in pole position for race 2 with Slobbery Spy right next to him. And this right here
Feel the anxiety.
can't you though? It's just palpitating. Right here is your order in reverse for race 2, folks, and we will be back in just a few minutes.
That I love. I absolutely love.
That's right, fam. We are going to be heading to race 2 here in just a moment. And, of course, we've been disconnected from the server. All right. Hope everybody's having a good 4th of July, particularly those of us in the U.S. It's a holiday. Everyone in the chat, I do appreciate y'all being here. We are going to get race 2 started here in just a moment. I'm just waiting for word that it is time to join the server, and as I see people start dropping, it will be time to get in there. All right. As we hang out, folks, we're just waiting for drivers to join the paddock. If, as a spectator, if you join too early, you get locked into a camera position, and I don't want to do that to you guys. So I will continue to refresh as we wait to see people show up on that list. So again, as we discussed at the beginning, but I know there's folks watching now that weren't here. Again, reverse race finish order. So who we saw finishing last in race 1 is going to be now in first for race 2. And fam, thank you for following. I appreciate it. I was away when you did, and I missed that. I apologize. But thank you so much for following the channel. This is where you're going to find all the races. So reverse order. So really what this race is going to come down to, and I know Chief's got himself muted right now, but hopefully he'll join me back here in a second. I think Red's coming back for the second
unmuted.
race. Oh, there you are. I just noticed you were muted before. So it's going to get interesting to me. To me, there's one of two things that are going to break here first, right? Either the folks that finished last and are the slower drivers, right? Nothing wrong with that. They're still pro, and I'm an AM driver. Sure as shit.
It'll be a shit show.
But here's the thing. What breaks first? Does a Pierre or a Slavary Spy or a TG0, do they break first and let the faster drivers by? Or does the patience of the faster driver break first and cause an incident?
Number 2.
Number 2, you think so?
Yeah, I think the faster drivers, because we always, I hate to bring it up, but we always have issues with the back markers, and it's always people get really impatient when they're stuck behind a slower person looking for that move, and I just don't. Maybe it'll be a different mindset with the reverse grid, but yeah, I think they're going to lose their patience.
But I also think that this is a good format for this because some of the issues we've had, to your point, are the back markers, right? And the faster drivers getting stuck behind someone slow. Well, guess what? Today you got to deal with it.
Welcome to hell.
Welcome to Green Hell Racing, right? Sploozle, to answer your question, how does one go from pro versus am? What it is every season there's a time trial qualification for Green Hell. You go in, you post your best times.
Sometimes you get demoted.
Yeah, sometimes you're like Chief. You go to pro. The next season you actually go back down to AM. It's all about those times and trying to see who's closest in race time to make sure that it's going to be competitive, right? So that's why we do that.
I was too high for my hot stint.
Yeah, don't feel stuck if you can't make a pass. If you can't get past, that's your fault. I agree. It's on the passing driver to be responsible, right? So again, that's why I think this is going to be pretty wicked as we wait for these drivers to start coming in. I've got nobody. I'm not showing anybody in there yet. And I don't want to join until I do. So,
for some reason, this is always the hardest fucking part. I don't understand how it's so goddamn hard.
I know. It is a little rough. Pizza Man Pete in the chat. But see, this is what I'm talking about. See the remorse? You see the typing he's doing. That's pure remorse. He feels bad, and I feel bad for him. Like, if I got waffled by Pete, I'd be like, oh, shit, I know he feels bad. Like, I don't want to yell at him. I mean, he totally screwed my race, but I don't want to yell at him because I feel bad for the guy. He's just so nice. And he's definitely one that if you enjoy watching racing on Twitch, you should go follow because he does more than just the green hell stuff. He's out driving all the time. I asked Red to let me know when people start joining, but we'll see if it works out. They're still all lined up in the drivers' meeting right now. Red probably reading them the riot act. Oh, Nat JB has said he is in, so. Well, why would Nat be in? Shouldn't he come in, like, next to last?
Yeah. White, get off of my desk. This will be your last day on Kitty Earth.
Be nice to the cat, man. Come on.
Meow.
Let's see. I'm going to jump in there quick, see what we see, if anybody's in there or not, and then we can go back to it as we need to. Oh, yeah, there's people in. I don't know why the server's not updating, but there are people in, so. Whoops. Wrong button. So we've got Pierre. So again, if you guys take a look, we got all 12 drivers in, right? Hopefully I don't have to jump out for this, but luckily for full formation lap. So if we do have to jump out, we'll take care of it. No big deal. Pierre and Slobbery Spy on row 1. Steadfast Muxcooth row 2. Tigo and R. Hanley row 3. Q-Bar, Donkey Pete 4. Electric and B5 finish out your top 10 with Nat JB and Bode Cardinal in 11th and 12th on row 6.
That went incredibly smooth.
I see that.
Everybody, save this clip and review it before we ever do anything like this again. That's how it's supposed to work.
The funny part is on the driver list. Oh, you do have to set a 5-minute qual, so we're in qual right now.
Yeah, to give time for everyone to join because they normally fuck it up.
That's right.
I went for 10 just because we're such pros at this. And it never works out that we do it on time. So it would figure that
we always have to
everybody
like
got in
restart.
first.
Yeah.
Well, the worst part is that the server list, when you search for the server, doesn't update the number of drivers on it. So I'm waiting for one driver to be in there. It kept telling me 0.
It says 0 still.
Because if you join too early as a spectator, you can't.
God damn it.
You can't change anything.
Yeah, you can. I just did
it. Driver again.
And Chief Blaze has now driver 13.
God damn it.
So now, Red, before you got back, and I'll ask you because Chief and I kind of gave our opinions. What breaks first today? Do Pierre, Slobbery, Steadfast, and Mux, and maybe Tigo and all those guys in the top 5, top 6, do they let the pass happen, or does Cardinal, Nat JB's, Fife, and Electrics, does their patience break first and they cause an incident?
I would like to think the ones that are going to be starting in the front that know they're going to finish in the back would. I mean, they don't need to concede and drive off the track, but you don't need to push it hard enough to cause an accident. So I would like to think that if somebody's patient, back forward breaks.
Yeah. We'll see. It's going to be curious, I think.
Oh, that is fucking hilarious. Someone asked Pierre, why are you in the pro race? And he said, I honestly don't know.
Oh, wow. So Sploozle, in case it wasn't there earlier, and everybody's going to lose the race for a minute, just going to do that real quick so you can find us if you're interested in joining Green Hell Racing. Running down to 2 minutes here before qualification ends, and we will be race time for another 20 minutes of our pro class.
By the way, I did join broadcast before I announced the first person in, and I can change.
Really?
Yeah, I can too.
Okay. Well, yeah, but you didn't join before the first person went in, Chief.
He only listens to half of what I say.
I know.
Because
Well, to be
he
fair,
knows it's only half accurate.
My headphones are working, so. I only have the left ear.
Is that your bad one? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see him enter the driver for the third time.
Oops. Oh, I hear cars revving. Is someone actually going to go drive?
I hope not.
Doesn't that make it longer? Well, might as well get a chapter in my book in.
I mean, even if they left the pits now, there's only a minute and a half left. They wouldn't get a lap, so it wouldn't matter.
Hey,
you know, if I would have set the server to 6 minutes, it would have taken
3 tries.
Yeah.
Hey, Sploozle.
8 to get everybody.
Listen, Sploozle, don't worry about being fast. I'm not fast. I race AM with these guys when I'm not, I'm not racing this season. Probably won't race again until fall. I'm not fast. I'm there for fun. I'm not there to win. So as long as you can have fun and not win, if you're like me, because I don't take it too seriously, I just try to race clean best I can, except on Fridays when I might sexually assault Q-Bar. Or his car, anyway. So, look, Steadfast had a great race last race, right? Like, I mean, I know finished down in the grid, but he really did well until the incident at holding his own. So, it'll be curious here to see if he can continue to do that, starting in third.
It's going to be hard to get by.
That's what I'm saying. Is he going to be an easy pass? I think Steadfast is one that can try to defend his position, do it cleanly, and really finish well, right?
I'm going to say something that's going to be controversial.
Uh-oh.
I think we may actually see Rob podium.
Think so, huh? You're talking about Hanley, our Hanley, right?
Mm-hmm. Because bad things are always what happens to him from other people. He's up in 6th. He's kind of in that middle pack between the guys that are good and the guys that are kind of slow. And he's got people around him that aren't necessarily unclean. I mean, they're pretty clean drivers. They're not dirty guys. I think he could podium if he just kind of keeps his head about him. Because he's got to deal with Nat, JB, and Bode coming through. He's always got pace. It's somebody else that screws up.
Oh, no. Who am I focused on here? I think I'm focused on Steadfast.
Nobody wants that.
I'm just trying to catch as much of the pack as I can going into, especially this race. T1's going to be fun. Sploozle, again, same thing, man. Seriously, don't worry about it. It's all about how seriously you take it. If you can only make every other race, that's okay too. It's about being active and about participating where you can. We have fun races during the week, so if you're working Sundays but you don't work like maybe Wednesdays or Fridays or something, there's fun races during the week. No points, they're not part of the season, but it gives you a chance to get some racing in with some good folks, right? So, Foxmate, what's going on?
If you've looked into other leagues that are like, hey, you have to commit for 6 months, we're not like that. If you can't show up, you can't show up. You're not hurting anybody else. So if you can only race 2 of the weeks of the season, go ahead. 1 for that matter. Go have fun.
Well, even myself, I'm not racing. I didn't race last season. I'm not racing this. I probably won't race again until fall, right? I just don't have the time to put into practice. And I'm still here and part of the community, and and I'll join back in when I can. So I think it's more about being active and joining when you can. And if nothing, Sploozle, again, if you don't work on Fridays, come join us for Friday night drinking and driving. I can't promise real practice, but you'll definitely learn how to drive better if you're half lit while you do it.
Honestly, you can't promise it, really. I mean...
I can promise I'm going to lock my brakes if you tailgate me.
Well, that's true. Or if you're 30 feet back, it would be like being a jerk.
Yeah, well,
I mean, you
whichever.
do that too.
Whichever. Well, 30 feet, that's close to tailgating there, sir.
You just drive into
Not in
cheap
racing,
plays
if
and
you're
then
30 feet
say
away,
that
you're no longer getting draft from it.
It's not my fault that someone took my brakes away. I don't want to hear it.
the first time you had your brakes just fine, and you still hit me.
When was this?
Oh.
Yeah, the
first
time
turn of
somebody
the first
purposely took your brakes, you missed everything.
I know I did. Well, to be fair, I couldn't drive the car, and you guys missed me and Chief because we were both sitting across the track trying to hold you
Yeah,
up.
I was trying to miss you. I was trying to catch the bar.
We've got a cone off the track already, bouncing.
What we really should have done is we should have posted up in the chicane and watched him try to avoid that.
Yeah.
That would have been smarter, yeah.
But I couldn't get to the chicane. My car wouldn't turn to the left anymore.
Yeah, same.
It was either go right or in a
We had
straight
to make
line.
do.
That was it. That
Yeah.
was as far. Like I had to use the wall to push me back out into the track.
Q-Bar was a good sport about it, though.
He was.
He didn't have any idea what was going on, but he thought it was...
No,
Some
you.
other people, if they'd have been in the room, they might have choked you through the phone.
Well, they have to get over it. It's Friday night drinking and driving. I mean, what we're doing is in the title. So if you show up expecting a serious drive time, like I kind of feel bad for you, but at the same time, you did this to yourself.
But
So like, if you're a serious racer, you don't want to show up on Fridays. And I think next Friday needs to be Wreckfest. Let's hit
I
people.
agree.
Let's hit each other on purpose.
I just trying to think of what the track is next week. I forgot.
Brands
Not one that
Hatch.
I'm horrible at. Yeah,
Brands
yeah.
Hatch. One of my
I don't
favorites,
even
actually.
want to practice with that one.
Brands Hatch is one of my favorites, actually.
That-
Right behind Spa.
I
I have a
absolutely
love-hate relationship
love.
with Brands Hatch.
Nisa TV, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the race. We're actually starting race number 2, 20-minute sprint race. Reverse order from the win from the last race, or from the grid order from the last race, I should say. We're in our formation lap now, and we will get ready for some racing real soon. As we watch Tigo again using the entire track to warm up his tires. We call that pulling the Red Rider.
Well, I mean, if you want cold tires, that's between you and the track. I don't care. I want warm tires. I'm going to take every bit of pavement I can find and abuse tires
Yeah.
until they get warm.
You kind of need to, don't you? These formation laps are so slow.
I turned that Lambo into a drift car, buddy.
Doesn't that just give you flat spots?
Well, I'm not locking the brakes. I'm spinning them. I use the throttle, not the brakes.
Okay.
How do you drift? By slamming on your e-brake? I don't...
Well, no. I'm just saying, if you're sliding, they're still going sideways and could still be leaving you flat spots at some point. I'm just saying it's more of a possibility. That's all I'm saying. If you're steadfast and you went in a circle 5 times, I guarantee he had flat spots in the last race.
Well, yeah, but his wheels were locked up. They weren't... He had his brakes on and he was still moving. That's a little different situation.
Coming into double file now as guys jumble for position. No collision during the formation lap, so they can drive right through each other.
People take advantage of that and try to make you feel dirty.
Yep, they do. They also try to make you blind.
Yeah, that happened. Somebody's not in position to get up there where they belong.
They're getting there. So Pierre,
My goodness, this
Slobbery
is the worst
Spy.
formation I've seen in a long time.
Here we go. Get ready for some racing, ladies and gentlemen.
There's going to be
Back
so many
markers are
penalties.
leading.
There's going to be so many penalties for out of position.
We're
It's
not
even
used to this.
funny.
Somebody's
we
parked-
don't know what to do at the front.
Electric is
Electric
parked
and-
inside Q-Bar.
Side. How does he not get a penalty for that?
I don't know. He was inside of him. 3 wide in
first
the back.
Bump, first
Oh.
bump. Pierre got bumped.
Bye-bye.
There we go, 3 wide through T1. Pierre still holding on up front.
I can feel the anxiety from Pierre right now. I can feel it through the TV.
Right.
He's in the wrong class.
Slobbery
In
Spy.
red. He is the Baptist of back markers at this point.
Bumps all around. 4 or 5 bumps. Holy shit. Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
and we've
Oh,
slid
the
out.
line
We've
was-
got sliding.
oh Oh God!
All
Spinning,
kinds of
sliding,
incidents.
bumping. Oh my God! So much fun.
People off the track. This is horrible.
That lasted corner.
Holy shit! That was terrible.
Where's Nat?
Oh
We got
my
Nat
God.
side by side with Q-Bar now. This is why I hate
Oh,
this.
that was
I hate not
brutal.
having live timing because you can't actually tell until they hit that first timing line. You can't tell who's in front.
Well, Slobbery Spy somehow got through all of that and is just running away.
Yeah,
now.
he's just taken off. With Pierre in second, though, he was able to hold on to most of it.
Mux.
I'm sorry, Mux. Yep, you're right. Mux up in second.
It's funny, every time this gets brought up, we've only done this one other time. Every time this gets brought up and worked up until this point, I'm like, don't you remember the last time we did this? And it looked somewhat like that, maybe a little worse.
So Steadfast is kept held on to position 3, with Bode Cardinal coming from the back of the pack all the way up through, right on his tail in number 4, with B Fife right behind him. So Steadfast now has 2 of the fastest guys in our pro class trailing him. And again, just like in that first race, I want to see how wide he can make that Audi and how long he holds on to this.
Are they already catching up to Slobbery Spy? Yes, they are.
Can you imagine if I was in this race?
Dude, there were so many bumps happening, I couldn't tell who was at fault. All
No,
the
yeah.
Everyone getting tossed around, like one into another. And
It's like when you're playing pinball and like 4 extra balls get dropped onto the table.
Too. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is happening?
I am so not looking forward
Bode
to
Cardinal
this version of
making
this.
the play.
This is gonna be ugly.
Side by side with
Pearson, fuck
Steadfast.
Just go to the pits.
Bode Cardinal made the move on Steadfast, and B Fife now trying to come up the inside. Didn't work out, but he's not giving up yet.
Oh, my goodness.
Nice and tight. With Nat JB right there, Steadfast has luckily had a bottle attached to himself so that he doesn't urinate all over the interior of that car. Bode Cardinal having made the move around him, but he still has B Fife and Nat JB to contend with. And Electric.
Like, you guys go ahead and hold him up, will you? Hold him
Right.
up. I got some winning to go do.
B Fife making the
B-Fife
play to
going
the outside. He's got the speed on him, but going
Oh,
outside.
now Nat's gonna come onto the inside right from the time of the corner. Will he get there? No.
Oh.
No,
Yeah, I
B
got
Fife
it.
makes
Got
a
the
nice
move done.
pass. Got the move done. No problems. Nat JB now coming up on the end to
Setting
Steadfast.
them up.
Q-Bar back hanging off R. Handley. Now let's see where Nat makes his play. Coming through the back third of the track. Very, very cornery. Lots of corners.
It's very cornery.
It's very. I hate the back third of this track. It's just you feel like you're constantly on the brakes, constantly turning. I really don't like it. I figured out what I don't like about Paul Ricard though. It's flat.
Yeah, I
Like
brought that up many-
Spa has elevation. Brands Hatch has elevation. Even Imola has elevation, right? Like it's more than just this turning left and right. There's actually 3 dimensions. I hate Paul Ricard for that because it's just so flat. So let's take a look. Slobbery Spy still holding off Mux Kuth up front. Bode Cardinal having made the move on Steadfast, now being followed by B Fife in number 4. Steadfast, Nat JB putting the pressure on Steadfast now, coming outside.
The Tigo.
What's that?
What happened to Tigo?
I'm sure he was in the mess up front.
Yeah, I think he was in the mess up front, and
Oh.
front of his car doesn't look healthy.
I kind of feel bad for Tigo because it seems like he gets caught up in a lot of messes that are not of his own design.
That's true.
Like he just seems to be at the
last
right
week was
place
the
at the
first
wrong
one I've
time.
seen him actually involved in an incident that was his fault. That's the first time I've seen in the, like, year and 2
Yeah.
months or whatever we're into this.
Nat making the play on Steadfast. Just got so much speed up the back straight and taking him to the inside coming into that fast right-hander.
Mux is narrowing the gap down there to Slobbery Spy. It's nothing to write home about, right?
Nat's
Yeah,
made
but
his
he's
play.
narrowing that gap.
Nat has made the play. And we now have Electric ECC, R. Handley, and Q-Bar running together towards the back of the pack. Donkey Pete all the way back in 10th position. Obviously got tussled up in the first couple corners. with Electric leading a pack of 3 cars with our Hanley and Q-Bar right behind him.
Mux is right on the back of Slobbery now.
Well, Zorax, what would you call it? It's cornery. There's a lot of corners.
A lot of clusterfuckery.
There you go.
I'd
That'll work
say
too.
they're busy dealing with the cluster peppery that was their race. It sounds like it was interesting.
Oh, no kidding.
Lots of server issues, I guess.
Oh, gotcha.
Setup issues. I asked Cuffman if he did the server mod suicide hotline. I have it on dial.
Well, I'm gonna try and run one out of the house too, so we should be able to stand up 2 for PC. So, at least 2.
Can you not do your own? Like, does it have to go through Xbox to do the ones on here?
Yeah. The only way to do Xbox servers is Gportal or Nitrado or so, however it's called.
Nitrado.
Yeah. Electric ECC holding our Hanley and Q-Bar at bay, stretching it out down the back stretch, and something happened. Something happened with Mux
Cardinal's
Kuth.
lining up Mux Kuth.
Cardinal is about to take it to Mux Kuth. It looks like Slobbery got a nice little lead off that back stretch, that back straight, and Bode Cardinal makes the play going into the fast right-hander and takes second position. He is running like a champ today. Mux Kuth not giving it up easily, though.
Yeah, Tigo's hot.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Time to open Discord.
I don't blame him. Oh boy, I don't like it either. Like I said, I'm not. I think he just parked in the pits. He's done.
Yeah, but if he sticks around, he's getting points. I mean, Pierre up and left, he's going to score no points for this race.
Yeah, I can't argue that.
I mean,
Maybe
worst
Pierre's
case,
gonna join the amateur one too, because that's where he's supposed to go. We just throw this race out for him. I don't know.
more, worst case, if you're frustrated and angry about what happens, right? Take yourself into the pits, walk away, take a break, but leave your car sitting there because you're going to nail points.
His car's in the pit.
No, Tigo is, but Pierre's gone.
Oh, but Pierre's not. Yeah, I wonder if Pierre just realized, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be an amateur, and said, forget this, I'll re-enter the amateur.
Poor Pierre. Oh, by the way, Red, I'm ordering that brake damper kit this week so I can put everything together at once.
Oh, the
performance kit? Yep.
Cool.
I'm going to order it this week, because I have the other parts sitting here, and I'm like, oh, I should put those together this week. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it all at one time and get everything here at once and do it once and be done.
Yeah. Well, in theory, my PC should be here Thursday.
Perfect.
So I'll get to play with that and get really thoroughly confused as to physics.
I'll get it you figured out, buddy. Bode Cardinal now making the run on Slobbery Spy. We got another 1-2 Bentley race up front. And I think Cardinal is going to make the run here real soon. How many cars did we start with done? We had 12. Pierre's the only one that's left. Oh, and Bode Cardinal trying to go side by side. Mux Kuth again not giving up the position. He wants it back.
No, he's hanging on there.
He is just.
He's like, oh, so you want to come and participate this season?
And this is
try
going
to run us all off the track. Get it? Coming back on you, boy.
This is going to get real curious because now B-Fife and Nat JB have joined the party.
This is a party of 5.
It is a party of 5. Slobbery Spy still leading the pack.
We are halfway through, not over yet.
We're halfway through. Keep it up.
Nice and tight into T1. Nat JB and B-Fife going side by side. Slobbery just driving. He's in the zone right now. Holding Cardinal at bay.
I mean, the longer Nat JB and B5 fight each other, the more they get lost from the train. So, get up there and take down Slobbery Spy.
I mean, I honestly figured they'd catch up to him faster. We're over halfway through the race.
He's held on for, 10 minutes so far.
B5 leaving it open in front of Nat. Nat's got the straight line speed on him, coming up on him now. Bo Cardinal is tightened right up to the back bumper of Slobbery Spy going into the fast one. I thought Slobbery was going to lose that. It looked like the brake, the car slowed down a lot. Like he misjudged for a second.
You gotta time that just right.
Yeah.
I tried to push it too hard 2 times last night, and I kept going sideways, and I hadn't changed anything except braking half a second later.
And the M race is going to be perfect then. I can't wait.
Oh. Yeah, you can't wait.
Bode Cardinal making the play again. He seems to do well back here in the back third. Slobbery going wide. Bode Cardinal took the gap.
He blew it.
Yep, he lost it right there. And back to the inside, side by side. Going 3 wide. Oh, I wanted 3 wide with Mux Kuth. Come on. Dunn says the Girthquake party of 5. Your table is ready. That's right. 2 Bentleys.
Here, so tell Dunn to shut up. You can't call that if you aren't in the room.
That's true.
Goodness, that is close.
Oh my God! Side by side again with Mux saying, "What do I do? What do I do?"
Oh my God! Just B5 coming up the inside now. 3 wide.
Mux making the move now on Slobbery. I think Slobbery has decided that he no longer wants to play this game.
He's like, here, you have it.
No, I don't.
Oh, and we got a bump, and we got a bump and spins.
Oh,
Bumps and spins.
Everybody.
Nat and Fife both around Mux Kuth and Slobbery Spy, including Steadfast has been able to get around him, and now Slobbery and Electric ECC running together. So good though for so long. Oh, that's a shame.
That was great.
You
B
just got a little
now.
bit of that red haze trying to get that spot back.
And Nat JB has taken a position from B Fife as well. They're now coming down side by side through the back straight. That's a shame. That was such a great battle. And these guys are running. They could hand a cigarette to each other. Nat squeaking out ahead of B Fife. So we go back and take a look. We've now got Electric ECC up on the back end of Slobbery Spy with Q-Bar and R. Handley not far behind. Slobbery again going wide. And Electric's able to make the move, but then scoots off the track, leaving it wide open again. Slobbery taking his position back.
Oh my goodness.
Q-Bar and Handley. We got another party of 5. Now we got party of 4. Electric, Slobbery Spy, Q-Bar, and R. Handley running nice and tight. Electric eating some curb, but able to hold on to his position. And Slobbery able to stretch it out a little bit going into T1. Q-Bar just holding on. Did not hit Electric.
Holy
Thought Q-Bar was going to hammer Electric, but no
Those
touching.
big yellow police there.
Yeah, you do not want to hit those in the Ferrari. Oh.
Q-Bar sliding. Electric able to pull away, and
just barely got him.
yep. And R. Handley still right behind Q-Bar at this point. Did he give that to him?
I don't think he gave it, but
I only saw Q-Bar sliding, and then I had to back off of it. So
it looked like he just barely tapped him.
okay. B Fife now taking it to Nat JB. We don't see someone this close to Nat JB very often. Riding right on his bumper. Nat going wide. Not enough for Fife to take it back. Bode Cardinal has just run away with it now. 3.8 second lead over Nat JB with only 4 minutes and 40 seconds left to go. Wheezy, thank you for coming to watch the races. To everybody watching, as soon as this one is over, I will be killing the stream for approximately 30 seconds just to separate the pro from the AM race, but we will be right back. So hang out, hit that F5 and refresh the page, and we will be back up and running. Chief, are you all right?
It's me.
It's
me.
you. I thought it was
Don't,
Chief.
don't worry about it.
Chief's too
Ignore
busy
me.
hacking.
I'm reading, and no, that was me too.
I haven't done anything. Jesus.
I like this. Everything I
Now I
do
know how
is
your
like-
kids feel.
Right?
Just like sitting there, they're like, you're like, fuck you. Like, what?
Oh my goodness.
My
That
mom's like, don't worry, he just does that. And you just learn to live with it.
Electric Q-Bar and Hanley still running together back here.
Oh, like a blender.
There,
Right.
Molson, you happy now? Bastard.
See,
That
we
won't
need to
be-
get a video, an audio of that, and then put it on your stream so that people can be like, hit the button and use some credits to make Chief hack up along.
Well, when electric slides, we should play the electric slide, right? Like,
That's
we
true.
Oh, we should.
compilation
That's
of the
true.
electric slide.
I like it. However, no one will ever be able to hear us talk. Okay, that may have been a little low, but I stand by my statement.
B-Fife again. We're just not used to seeing people this close to the back end of Nat,
B5.
and he is holding on. I mean, he's at least holding the line, putting the pressure on Nat JB. No more 22-second wins today, sir.
Well, B5 was pretty fast in that. I don't think he participated much last season, but the season before he was pretty fast in the Audi.
Yeah. Q-Bar making the move on electric, and they're going to tap. He gets around him, but there was a tap. Nobody lost control, though, so I can hear cursing in Scottish right now somewhere on Twitch.
What's a little tap among?
Oh, someone went wide.
Donkey Pete going way wide and letting Hanley sneak by. Q-Bar now leading that pack ahead of Electric, ECC, R. Hanley, and Donkey Pete.
Wonder why they run the Ferrari all the time.
I don't know. Him and his brother?
Or whoever he is, yeah.
I run the Audi all the time. Maybe they're just used to it.
It could be.
I like the Audi. I like how it drives, so, yeah. Audi or Mercedes, one of the two.
It's just not one of those cars that is dominant on a lot of tracks. Right?
Yeah.
Usually guys who run controller run it a lot, but they don't. They're on wheels. I guess it's easier. One of the easiest cars to drive on controller, from what I understand.
Okay. Again, Q-Bar holding the line. Stretching it out in front of Electric.
B5 trying to take the outside. Going in. Yeah, didn't quite get there.
Not
going into
quite.
That sweeping turn. I got to get the name down for that corner.
The fast right-hander.
Called Potential Death.
That's its name on this particular cast. The fast right-hander.
Called Potential Death.
Drive-through for number 669, Slobbery Spy.
Now we know how he was keeping that lead. He was cutting corners. Fucking cheater. Cheater.
Electric has taken back the position from Q-Bar. We missed that one, but again, Donkey Pete and R. Hanley keeping them stacked up. Q-Bar looking to give Electric just a little nudge through that corner. Now, if Slobbery doesn't take his drive-through, he's got 3 laps to do it. If he doesn't take it and he only does 2 more laps, is it over? Q-Bar sneaking through now and pushed by Electric. Pushed by Electric. They're going to come down side by side. These two are just playing bumper cars at this point. And we're going to get to watch it for
being swung there.
one more lap. It looks like Slobbery has gone ahead and entered the pits. Taking that drive-through.
It would have just added 30 seconds to his time at the end.
Is that what it does? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I probably would have just taken the 30 seconds, but...
And you're right, Sploozle. Chief do be chiefin'. That's why you can hear blenders and such on the cast sometimes.
Chiefin'? Blazin', maybe. I don't know about Chiefin'.
Chief.
Q-Bar just playing tight with it, and Donkey Pete getting side by side, sneaking up the sneaking up the inside on him when Q-Bar wasn't paying attention.
Sneaking up the inside.
And we're going to get to watch it for one more lap. It looks like Slobbery has gone ahead and entered the pits. Is that what it does? Okay.
Oh, Chiefin'? Blazin', maybe. I don't know about Chiefin'.
Q-Bar just playing tight with it, and Donkey Pete getting side by side, sneaking up the outside on him when Q-Bar wasn't paying attention. I think Q-Bar must have had a slip paying too much attention to Electric ECC and lets Donkey Pete and R. Handley sneak right on through. But all clean. Little bumps, but nothing too serious, right? And again, B-Fife on the tailpipe of Nat JB, who has now caught up to within 1 second of Cardinal. And hopefully Fife's able to keep it clean. He wants to make that move so bad. So badly. You can see it in his eyes. All the way from up here in the helicopter view. I just see him. You see him coming right up on him, then he locks those brakes down. And then he comes right up on it and locks those brakes like I'm waiting for it. And this might be it. Inside, but no. Oh. 1, 2, and 3 going to finish within just a few tenths of each other. Cardinal open it up a little bit at the end. 3 and 2. 3 tenths to Nat JB and 2 tenths to B-Fife. Excellent racing from those three to get back up to the front. Mux Kuth coming in 4th. Steadfast in the Audi locking in number 5. As Electric ECC leads the back of the pack in number 6. With Donkey Pete 7, Q-Bar in 8, R. Handley in 9. Slobbery Spy still finishing his final lap, come number 10, and TG0 finishing the race from the pits. Thank you, everybody, for joining the Pro Class Series race of Green Hell Racing today. Thank you to Chief and Red. I know you two are about to go race, right?
Yep.
Excellent. So I will be on my own for the amateur class race, guys, coming up. Again, I'm going to bounce the stream real fast. I ask y'all to just hold on. You're going to get a race starting soon screen, and I will be back down here in just a few minutes to get the AM qualification going. Shouldn't be, what's it going to be, Red? 5 minutes before that starts?
Probably.
Excellent. So everybody take a break. Take bathroom breaks. Time for a little P&P. Come on back for the AM class races. We will see you here in just a few minutes.